Where to start with the history of climate change? Well, climate is being changed by the addition of greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. So perhaps I should talk about the atmosphere first. Should I talk about air as an element in the classical cosmologies of ancient Greece, Egypt, Persia, Babylonia, Japan, Tibet and India? Empedocles of ancient Greece was the first to argue that all matter was composed of the classical elements of water, earth, air and fire. He also rather poetically described the forces of love and strife that would mix and separate these elements. We can imagine that biogeochemical cycles, such as the carbon cycle so important in understanding climate change, could have their origins in such descriptive verse. But I think we need something more, dare I say, scientific. The first person to establish that the atmosphere plays a role in controlling the climate was the French mathematician Jean-Baptiste Joseph Fourier, the same Fourier that has confounded schoolchildren with his mathematical techniques, but also for his development of an analytical theory of heat transfer. It was in his contemplations of heat flow that he came to consider the Earth's temperature. His approach was similar to the one that I will present later. Initially, as others had done before, he considered the Earth receiving energy from the Sun. Such a model, though, leads to an Earth that gets hotter and hotter and hotter. He realized that the Earth itself must radiate, although at wavelengths we cannot see. He called this radiation radiant heat, what we now call infrared radiation. Fourier made very precise measurements of this radiant heat, and together with the radiation from the Sun, calculated the Earth's temperature to be minus 18 degrees Celsius, way below the some 15 degrees Celsius we observe, and certainly not conducive for life as we know it. Something was missing, and in 1824 Fourier realized that this missing something was the atmosphere. The atmosphere, he surmised, must act as an insulator, preventing some of this radiant heat from escaping to space and returning that radiant heat to further warm the Earth's surface. This was the first formulation of what we now call the greenhouse effect. However, for historical completeness, we should note that Fourier did not coin that term. The term greenhouse effect first appeared in the work of the Swedish meteorologist Niels Gustav Ekholm in around 1900. So there we have it, the greenhouse effect discovered. Thanks for listening.